create a new file. I'm going to import all our work from before. I'm going to create a function here. Oopsies, there we go. That will let us easily write out the brand and the price, just the two columns, into a text file. I'm going to write out two variables here, the brand field index and the price field index. Just in case I don't remember what they are, I have them assigned here. I'm going to have a list here for the new array, which will contain just 2 items per row. And the way that I'm going to create that is by saying for each record in data sample, I'm going to say that the new record has 2 elements. And each time I am reading a new record, I create this new one, an empty one, and I assign the 2 elements here. With the first one being the brand, and the second element would be the price. And we're going to append that to the new record so that we could return it. At the end of this, we want to write to file. We're going to try this out by printing the Gucci ties into this file s4 brandandprice.csv. We want to avoid typos since that would give us a hiccup. Let's see if we have this file, and we're just going to list everything in the data directory that matches brand and price. And yes, it is not a file size of 0. There's actually some data in there. We can actually use this bash command, cat, and say we want to read the file. We just want to preview it, so we're just going to say we want to read the file name. And it's just everything Gucci with the brand and the price. I'm going to clear the console real quick. I'm going to write another example now that exports the minimum and maximum rows. We're going to reuse our functions from before. We're going to find the max min. And now as we read through our data sample, we want for each record in the data sample to check if the float equals the minimum or the max. If it matches, we want to keep that record, so we're going to save it to the new array. And of course, at the end of reading the whole data sample, we want to write this file out to a file name. And this is how you would use this function. You would say write min max CSV, and you would pass in the file name that you want to write it out to. And then you would also pass in the data that you want to have written. Let's write another function that just abstracts the first function and just writes any two columns that are passed in. Again, we want to make sure that we create a new record that has only two elements. And instead of using the index defined, we're just going to pass in the index that we pass into the function. We save this new record into new array, and when we're done reading the whole data sample, we write to file the new array. We can specify that the new array gets written into the file name that we specified. Now, before we were using 5 and 2 for brand and price, and as an example, I'm just going to use 3 and 7 to indicate the Thai name, the product name, and then also the product description. So I'm going to run that. I want to make sure that a variable name is not 2 words, but rather just 1 word. Oh. Great, I made the same mistake in 2 functions. All right, let's clear that and run it again. So we have those files created,